It's Rick without the K. James presents In My Opinion Podcast.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, as well as the notification bell. Thank you for watching.
How do you progress?
Now we're talking about
with the roadblocks in the industry, and I think that
Not, it ain't even the industry. We not talking industry. You get roadblocks locally. That's not industry. That's just motherfuckers that
But I think we're all going to
joining
lead back,
a little boys club or girls club.
I think where this question is all going to lead us, hopefully all three of us, into it, is the fact that we living in a different time. These roadblocks that a lot of these places or people think that they're providing with you or that they're doing to you, well, that was good 10 years ago. You could make sure I don't perform at that club. You can make sure I don't do this. But nowadays you have your own vehicle to bring your funny to other people. Mm-hmm. So with that said, it's the social media, it's the podcasting, it's the staying on your Instagram, it's the being on TikTok, it's that. So I think that's the one thing that took me a while to get into, but I'm glad that it was there, because if I've got to wait on somebody else for my success, then I'm gonna fucking be waiting forever, bro.
Yeah, because they're not gonna serve it up to you. You know what I'm saying? Like your success is only gonna be served to you by you.
So that's why we're here on a fucking Friday night with nothing else to do, so we could all get in. And the creativity that this brings to me,
right?
There's nothing else that I'm gonna take this home, and not only am I learning shit while we're podcasting right now, but I get to edit this shit. So I'm going to look at it, and there'll be a lot of shit that I go through back and edit and be like, God damn, I don't want that out on the internet.
See, I
don't want to infiltrate the internet.
I thought this fool was going to say, I get to edit it, and I get to take a look at all the master notes and learn from it and grow. This motherfucker was like, no, I got to get rid of some shit before people know who I really am.
The same thing, man, where I've been saying it since season 1 of this podcast is yes, I watch this shit, and even though I've edited only the last 2 seasons, I do watch every episode because I wanted to make sure the points are conveyed. And yes, I learned something. Sometimes it'll take me till the end of the season. Maybe I won't watch this until 6 months from now, and then I'll look back and I'll be like, God damn. And there's been a lot of things that maybe I said on season 1 where I think different by season 3. You know what I mean?
Right.
As you should.
So yeah,
growing.
I mean that's evolving, right? So I've got to do that too. Where just because I said it today doesn't mean I'm gonna think the same 5 years from now.
Right.
You know what I mean, Joe Rogan? So shit. Why we're gonna hashtag this shit? No.
Why'd you bring him up?
Just because I need more views, goddammit.
I guess so, right?
And he's the king of this shit.
Got to piggyback off of controversy.
What's your view on this? What's your how do you deal with roadblocks? Because I heard the question a little bit differently than the way that Rick just explained it. What are your roadblocks to begin with?
The roadblocks kind of being what I was referring to earlier about. All right, if you're not getting as many shows as necessary / as you would like to be able to perfect the craft better, then you got to go find a way to create your own opportunities. Creating those opportunities is not an easy thing. Even throwing my own shows, it ain't necessarily going to be a packed out crowd every time if I'm doing a Thursday night, a Wednesday night, a Tuesday night, whatever the fuck it may be. So I like I said, I've been practicing on perspective and whatnot and just trying to worry about what's in my control. I definitely need to do better at networking. I'm not the best networker, but then again, it's the energy be off so often that I'd rather just be like, well, I'd rather not reach out to nobody then. How about that? But then I'm not doing nothing but shooting myself in the foot. Yeah. So I'm still figuring it out how to overcome certain roadblocks, because I know that he keeps making fun of me of you want to do these SF shows so bad. I don't give a. It ain't because I want to fit in. It's not no dumb shit like that. It's I'm seeing the opportunity. It's like I'm over here on this side starving. They got chicken over there. They got spaghetti. They got salad. They got all kinds of shit over there that they feed. That they feeding. All right. That they feeding to motherfuckers who are full already.
Right.
And I'm hungry, and so it gets after a while. It's like, bro, what the fuck, man? Like, God damn it, man! I got to go back to eating grass and figure out this shit while they get to
Right.
feast. So it gets frustrating, but then trying to overcome the frustration is what I try to focus on. You got to sell myself via social media.
That's a great equalizer.
Get my clips together. Perception is reality, so got to dress it up a little bit. Not saying you got to fabricate it, but got to dress it up a little bit so motherfuckers see, oh shit, like throw this clip of you doing something that looks cool and nobody else is doing that. Nobody else can do that. So, oh shit, now right there, bam, that's a stamp right there. That's okay. Look, that's one thing that I could do. I did this, and just playing the social media game, getting better at playing the social media game. Still not where none of us are really. I unbiasedly say, myself included, that's what's holding a lot of us in the Bay Area back, in particular. Comics
social
in general,
media?
But in the Bay, we don't have nobody out here, and I can unbiasedly say it, that's still out here at least. There's people who, from here, they moved to LA, yada, 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 that has a social media, I think, that is strong enough to get them to the levels of success that are generally viewed as the levels of success. TV, movies, all this shit. The social media shit is helping people get to those positions in a quicker manner. And it's damn near like it ain't even about being quicker. Like if you ain't got it, you're not getting looked at.
Right.
It's like having a job application with no college at all on it.
Mm-hmm. So with that said, right, the roadblocks, only because when he was saying that, I was thinking about how, like, I've worked with Kabir here and there, and he's gone on America's Got Talent, and that's what's helped him propel and get more dates. You help Frankie, right? Yeah. Like, you go on the road with Frankie.
Yeah.
And Frankie's one of those comics that, when I met Frankie, he was kind of up here doing this thing, and then what was different between like Frankie and Kabir is Kabir's using the traditional TV and network to get catapulted to the next thing, but Frankie used YouTube videos and shit, right? He does the Cholo Fit, and that's where he got propelled, and people started following him, and now he's getting booked all over the nation every weekend to do shit, and then you're lucky enough to go and feature or
work with
host and work with him and his band and all that shit. Went to the show. It's a good show.
Yeah.
If anybody hasn't seen it, go check it out, right?
March 11th and 12th at the San Jose Improv.
There you go. See? Back in the Bay.
Yeah.
So for you, since you've seen the difference, like what are the roadblocks and what are those conversations that you've had with Frankie where you're like, man, that's dope. And that's probably why he said it the way he said it, like, because Frankie's kind of from up here, right? Because I want to say his parents are also from Ontario or whatever.
Yeah, he's from. He was born in L.A. and like raised down there, but. Or not L.A., I want to say. Well, one of those cities in L.A., you know what I'm saying? But, they call L.A. the greater L.A. area. Yeah. But I don't think it's actually like Los Angeles. But then I think he spent like hella years, maybe 10, 12 years in the Bay Area. I think he went to college up here, and then he started doing comedy up here too. So he's like, he's from LA, but he's got deep roots in the Bay Area though too. So that's his story.
So what are those conversations that you guys have had where you're like, man, I see some roadblocks that can happen for me, and and I want to say, but again, this is only from hearing, how comics hear shit, is what helped Frankie propel is the management team. That they help organize that for him.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not, so I could be wrong.
I mean, I would think so. I would think so. I mean, I've never really asked him. We never really had a conversation about how his career propelled. I mean, I've known Frankie practically since I started doing comedy, but by the time I was doing comedy, he was already doing it for a while. So, we weren't like in the same exact scenes because he was like ahead of me. You know what I mean? And he was doing stand-up comedy for a long time, and I would see him in the city a lot. And he was like a well-known dude because he's funny. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew who he was. And you're right. When he started doing a lot of the YouTube stuff, that's when it really started popping off for him in terms of like national notoriety. But what that did is like, I think he was smart in that he had a passion. It looked like he had a passion for characters, and he used YouTube and Instagram to display that passion alongside with his stand-up comedy. And so because we're living in, this is the era of social media, that really put him in the spotlight. That threw him in the spotlight in terms of his characters. So naturally, if you have a passion for the characters and you're doing all these different voices and all these different characters and you got all these good, cool videos, you're going to bring your comedy, your stand-up along with it. You know what I mean? So it was just like, for him, it was just like a really good merger of just like really good timing for social media. And then also a passion for comedy in many different ways, whether it's stand-up or doing voices or doing characters and videos and shit like that. So I just really think he took advantage of like that time frame where you could merge it all together. Because yeah, you're right. I mean, a lot of his notoriety was came through social media. Yeah. Cholofit Creeper in particular, Mm-hmm. So I think it was just him just being smart enough to take advantage of all his talents and put them all on display all at once, because we're living in a time where you can do that. You can't unless you have a variety show. Like the only other time I could think of when you could put all your talents on display all at once and people would come and check it out would be like if you actually did like
in Living Color back in the day or something
something like that. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, okay, well, I have the opportunity to put all my talents on display all at once, and it's not going to cost me an arm and a leg. I don't need a team to do that. I could just fucking put it all on social media. And plus, I'm already doing stand-up comedy, so it's like it's a full package. I just need people to see all the things that I can do. So just take advantage. He just took advantage of the opportunities that were in front of him. YouTube, Instagram. He said, fuck it, I'm going to put it all out there. And that's where he got a lot of his notoriety from. Take advantage of your opportunities. You know what I mean? Find ways to make it happen, as opposed to just sitting there waiting for something to pop off. One of these things has to work. So, well, fuck it. Why not just put them all out there and see what the fuck happens?
See what sticks.
Yeah.
Gary Vee says that shit all the time, right?
Yeah.
Like he's fucking just, it's like a dude trying to get with a woman. Like,
yeah.
I had that conversation with my son. Like, there's no such thing as too many girls to hit on. Like, just hit on all of them, motherfucker.
Yeah, right, right.
On all of them, goddamn it. And then you're going to fuck one of them.
So to speak. Or two of them.
Be a gentleman.
Be a gentleman. Yeah, as Ronnie would say, be a gentleman.
But also the other thing about guys like Frankie and a lot of people that are like, once you're thrust into the spotlight, the other thing that helps them get through the roadblocks, because obviously there's bigger and crazier roadblocks. Right now we're tripping off of stage time. You know what I'm saying? Like, or we're tripping off of not getting guest sets. I mean, seriously, right? But like some guys that are in a position where they're thrust into the spotlight, they have to deal with a lot of different shit. You know what I'm saying? Things that we're not even considering right now. Like here I'm fucking drinking on camera. You know what I'm saying? Like some guys, they get to a point where it's like I have to be a lot more mindful about my image. But
they're Dave Chappelle.
I mean, but that's because you reached an uber level of success where you've broken free from the chains. You could do almost literally whatever the fuck you want, But I'm imagining that his roadblocks are like more severe. But the thing about him though is that like he just looks for ways to work around it. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't just like it seems to me like he doesn't just sit there and be like, oh fuck, man. Well, I guess I gotta complain about this until it moves out of my way. It's like, no, well, I'm just gonna work around it. You know what I mean? I've seen him do that multiple times with the show on the road and stuff. You just work around the situations that are placed upon you. Because dog, like once you get to a certain point, once you're fucking waist deep in the ocean, what the fuck is the point of fighting to go back? You might as well just fight to keep on going forward. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no point in trying to figure out, well, let me get back to shore so I could be safe again and then reassess. It's like, no, dude, you're fucking already shoulders deep into the ocean. Swim. You swim. Whatever the fuck it takes. But the water's cold. Think warm thoughts, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking swim.
Adjust.
What are you going to do? Fucking go back? Yeah. You already came this far. You know what I mean? So that's definitely one way to get around roadblocks is to adjust.
Well, I ask you that because, like I said, we've also sat down with Kabir, right? When he was about to be on AGT that first night, we sat down and podcasted with him. And he had told us well, how'd you get the AGT spot or whatever? And he's like, boys, I'm telling you guys, if you guys haven't done a festival, you need to do a fucking festival, right? And we were both of us were like, I don't know if we want to do that. But by the end of the podcast, we were like, shit, man, we got to get on.
Well, I mean, because he made a good point.
He made good
about
points.
what comedy festivals actually are.
So that's what veered him there. Is there that discussion that you've had with Frankie where he's like, hey, man, I know your roadblocks may be this. Have you attempted this or that? Or you're like, fuck it, I'm just,
Well, honest again, bro. Like when I've talked to Frank about like careers and stuff like that, like
I know you guys aren't gonna sit down and be like, what roadblocks?
Yeah, right. Yeah. But they don't really come up. They haven't really come up, to be honest with you. Like my roadblocks don't really come up to him because honestly, bro, when I'm working with Frank and we're doing the things that we're doing because of all his hard work and all his notoriety and people want to come see him, and then he asked me to come on to come and work with him, man. To be honest with you, bro, I'm just so focused on like knocking that shit out the fucking park when I'm there that a roadblock isn't even a thing to me until I'm on my way home and I'm thinking about, okay, now I got to go back to my real life. You know what I'm saying? Like my level where I'm at and try to figure out how to get back there where I just came from. You know what I mean? So I'm not even really thinking about that. Like I'm not even focused on roadblocks when I'm there with them. You know, my roadblocks are like, when I'm there with them, my roadblocks are like, all right, well, I want to make sure that this fucking show goes well for this packed out theater that he packed out because these motherfuckers came for like a cholo good time. You know what I mean? And I gotta make sure that I deliver that, or at least like fucking like get real close to it, like knock that shit out the park.
James, that's the one you think the comedian Rick James. Get up.
I can't hear my neighbor crying. I can't breathe.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, as well as the notification bell. Thank you for watching.